and welcome to TWF Friday Night Smackdown. I, Gorilla Monsoon, here with Mike Lane and with Wade Barrett. And today on Friday Night Smackdown, we have a good show here today on Friday Night Smackdown. You know, and Gorilla Monsoon said yesterday we got a new TWF heavyweight fighter. His name is Braun Strowman, and he beat Seth Rollins yesterday on Impact or Hit. Gorilla Monsoon says, "You got that right," Mike Lane says. Braun Strowman beat Seth Rollins yesterday on Impact or Hit, and he's now the new TWF heavyweight fighter, Mike Lane says. I'll tell you one thing right now, Gorilla and Mike. You know, at the end of the day, I don't know how Braun Strowman did it. But somehow he did it. I don't understand how, but somehow he pulled it off, Wade Barrett says. And I guess we're going to hear from him, here today on Friday Night Smackdown. Wade Barrett saying, I don't know how he did it, though. Well, it must have been out of luck. I could tell you that. Well, I could tell you Wade Barrett says, I could tell you right now that luck had nothing to do with Wade Barrett beating Seth Rollins. Wade, for your no. Alright, everyone. So yesterday I beat Seth Rollins, and I became the TWF heavyweight fighter. And everyone wonders, how did I do it? How did I beat Seth Rollins? Well, somehow, someway I did. And Seth Rollins, he was bitching for 2 days that he wanted a month off. Only the new four-sitter and head leadership wicker, the toy wrestling gathering, Rick Rodriguez, did not give it to him. So, yeah, we don't have to worry anymore, about Seth Rollins anymore. We don't have to worry about that at all. Because now you have a new TWF heavyweight fighter, one that you can have on look for. One that isn't going to be, belly aching about the unfairness of things. Ladies and lords, my name is Paul E. Dangerously, and I'm the overseer for Seth Rollins. And first off, Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins is not happy with you being the new TWF heavyweight fighter. He doesn't even know how you even did it, but somehow you did it. But he's going to tell you something right now. He will win the TWF heavyweight winnings back from you. So, I don't know how long you're going to be holding on to that strap there. So, Seth Rollins thinks that he's going to win the TWF heavyweight winnings. He's going to win that strap back from me. Is that what his belief is? Well, I think that that's not going to happen. I truly believe that at the end of the day, he's going to lose to me again, like he did before. And alright, and here comes Ric Flair, the main overseer to TWF now. Well, yeah. Alright, Paulie Dangerously, you've been doing a lot of talking. I can see that Seth Rollins, is not here today. So the way I look at it is that if he not here, and I was going to give him another shot for the TWF heavyweight winnings. However, he's not here today, so I guess that you're going to have to get that shot. Now, Rick, you got to understand, I've never been a wrestler. even though I've been in the ring from time to time. But I've never been a wrestler. Alright? Even in my days in the AW, my days in the AWA, my days in MACW, WCW, and ECW, and WWF, and WWE. I've never been a wrestler. It was always the first time for everything, because as I do think back, you were in the ring, weren't you? You did have a match once. Didn't you take on Sabu once on ECW and Sci-Fi? Or was that a handicap match? Whatever, that was a match. You know? Oh, and didn't you fight Vince McMahon one time in 2012, YL? So don't tell me you never been in the ring. Yeah, but I'm not a wrestler. Yeah. Well, and you want to know something? There's always a first time for everything. Alright, Fight Lord. We need a Fight Lord in the ring now. Braun Strowman's fighting Paulie Dangerously. Woo! How can that be fair? Gorilla Mons. How can that be fair? Mike, how can that be fair? Wade Barrett says. Paulie Dangerously's not a wrestler. He never was. Yes, he's been in the ring from time to time, Wade Barrett says, but that doesn't make him a wrestler at all. Wow, Gorilla Monsoon says, always a first time for everything, and I don't really feel that too sorry for Paulie Dangerously. Know what I mean? Wade. Well, if Paulie Dangerously didn't want to be in the match, Mike Lane says, he didn't have to show up. Yeah, that's my thoughts too, Gorilla Monsoon says. He didn't want to be in the match, he didn't have to show up. This match is for the TWF heavyweight winnings. First, he is the overseer of Paulie Dangerous, of Seth Rollins. He is Paulie Dangerously. And he is the TWF heavyweight fighter, Braun Strowman. Well, there was a very short time that he was in the ring. If we go back, Gorilla Monsoon says, let's go back to Smackdown in early 2005 YL, where Paulie Dangerously and Jonathan Heidenreich had a handicap match with The Undertaker. And if we go to ECW and Sci-Fi, you'll know it was Paulie Dangerously who fought Sabu. Yeah, the Big Show helped out in that match. And we do know the time that Paulie Dangerously fought Vince McMahon on Monday Night Raw and Moon Night Raw, even before Brock Lesnar came out and did whatever he did. Before Triple H came out too. Oh! Paulie Dangerous, Girl Monsoon says, yeah, but that still doesn't make him a wrestler, Wade Barrett says. That's not right. Well, he's getting beat up really bad right now, Mike Lane says. And all those times he was in the ring, either on SmackDown, ECW, or on Raw, you know, he's now going to yield the worth. You know, Mike Lane says, oh no. Wade Barrett says, someone has to stop this. Well, Seth Rollins will stop it if he was here, Gorilla Monsoon said. And never might slam. Braun Strowman does Paulie Dangerously. This one's over, Gorilla Monsoon says. Yeah, it is, Mike Lane said. Looks like this match is over for this non-wrestler who got in a wrestling ring. Mike Lane says. Yeah, looks like it is over. This is bad, Wade Barrett says. This is bad. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF heavyweight fighter, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is still the TWF heavyweight fighter, Gorilla Monsoon says. And Paulie Dangerously, who was in the wrong time, in the wrong stead, Gorilla Monsoon said, got the handicap that would have been Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins chose not to show up today. And that would have been him in the ring, Gorilla Monsoon says. That's right, Mike Lane says. Paulie Dangerously showed up at the wrong time and wrong stead. And if he would have won the strap, then who knows what would have happened. But sadly, he did not win. No, Wade Barrett says, it's so unfair to Paulie Dangerously, who was never a wrestler. No need. You know, no need if he was booked to be in matches. You know, he was never a wrestler. That's not right, Wade Barrett says. Well, sometimes in life, things happen to us. Sometimes life is unfair, and it is what it is. So would you stop, Wade Barrett? Gorilla Monsoon says, all right, take it away, Joey Styles. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be talking to one of my former heads that I worked for between the years of between 96 YL to 2001 YL, Paulie Dangerously. So, I know you were in some matches, mostly in your first run in WWF, WWE, and your two-diff run in WWE. You know. Yeah, but I was never a wrestler, Joey Styles. When I was put in the ring that first time when me and Jonathan Heidenreich teamed up, you know, I was never a wrestler. That didn't stop me from getting choked out by Taz, stunnered by Steve Austin, stone bottom by The Rock, spear no man struck by Roman Reigns sundry times, F5 by Brock Lesnar. No, I was never a wrestler. And Ric Flair knows I'm not a wrestler. Even though, yeah, I did team up with Jonathan Heidenreich to take on The Undertaker once in a handicap match. Yes, I did fight Sabu once. I had help in that. And yes, I did fight Vince McMahon at one time. But you should know, I was never a wrestler. And Seth Rollins will learn about this. And he will get even on Braun Strowman. And Ric Flair, your days as the main overseer of the TWF are reckoned. When I get done, you won't be the main overseer of the TWF anymore. When I tell Astronema and I tell Rick Rodriguez about what you did, Rodchez, what you did. Well, you almost became the TWF heavyweight fighter today, Joey Styles said. But Sally, that didn't seem to happen. No, it did not seem to happen. You know, but Braun Strowman will yield. And Seth Rollins will be the TWF heavyweight fighter again. And I will get even with the one that put me in that bind. Well, that's my talk with Paulie Dangerously. You know, back to you, Gorilla Monsoon and Mike Lane. Well, thank you, Joey Styles, for talking with Paulie Dangerously. Well, that's all the time we got here for Friday Night Smackdown. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Mike Lane and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Friday Night Smackdown. And we'll see you tomorrow for Collision or Hit.